Okay, so DCS, we're back at it, Dad. These obviously, like I've been playing the game for a while. I still suck. Been just basically doing basic flight, right? Nothing too adventurous. Maybe throwing a couple enemies at me and I get shot down or whatever. But one of the things that I've been wishing I could do is play with multiple people to have like a big campaign and stuff like that. But that's a lot of work for the campaign editor to set up, or finding people to play with is obviously not working out for me. So I stumbled across this program that runs alongside DCS and will generate missions for you that you could either play with multiplayer or on your own. So it gives that dynamic. It also adds like turns, so it's more of a game, right? Less of a simulator. It's more of a game. There's a purpose. You get the bigger picture of a battle or whatever, and you can choose your scenario. So I kind of wanted to show you that today and show you how much I suck, and we'll go from there. So probably going to be a long video, but whatever. So in DCS, you have several missions that come with DCS or with the um, airplane that you purchased. So like I bought the FA-18, right? So it comes with a bunch of stuff. I bought Super Carrier, it comes with this, so it teaches you how to do different things, qualification missions, stuff like that. But you can also get, and let me go here so the music stops, but you also can purchase missions off of DCS, and from what I'm hearing, they're pretty disconnected. It's basically go fly here and bomb this, go fly here and run a cap mission or combat air patrol mission, and so on and so forth. You do the mission and then you move on to the next one, but you lose the bigger picture. And when you see this program, it's actually pretty cool that somebody created this. Somebody created it and then somebody took it over and made it better. So it's pretty neat. But it's called DCS Liberation, and it auto generates missions for you, and will also record everything that happens during your flights and the when you're playing this. So it'll set you up for another follow-on mission, and it all does it automatically. You also have money that gets generated based on your actions, and how many things you control, and that you get to spend to purchase new aircraft, some ground forces fighting a war, which is the ultimate objective, and so on and so forth. So it's really neat. Like you get money per turn. You spend that money on whatever jets you want. You fly your mission, and then you get those that you purchased in the next mission, and then you get more money, and then you can spend like maybe recoup some losses, like maybe you lost some jets, you lost some ground forces, and you got to restock those. You maybe have to repair your runway because they bombed your runway, stuff like that. So it's kind of neat. So this is the program. So we'll just start off with a new mission, and you can choose your faction. I'll just leave everything default for now, but we're going to play the USA and we're going to fight Russia. Whatever. You can choose whatever you want to fight, but we'll just leave that as Russia for now. And then you can choose what map you want and kind of what mission you want. So I like the Persian Gulf map a lot. Caucasus is pretty good, but I'm gonna play this one, Persian Gulf. And in this scenario, you can play the invasion of the I can't even say that word, of the Emirates and Oman, where your forces start in Fardara, whatever. But you can also do like a desert war, the full map, but it's pretty high in performance. Invasion of Iran or Invasion of Iran Light. So we'll play this one. We'll see how that goes. We can choose the time frame in which we play. So we'll keep it moderate, but let's mix it up and we'll do it in wintertime. And then hit next. Then you have some options: no aircraft carriers, no LHAs. If you're using aircraft carriers, do you want to use the super carrier module? But we're not going to do any of this, so we're just going to say next. Then you can choose your your player income multiplier, so you get money every turn, and you can adjust that. We're going to keep it flat 1.0, flat simple, and then the starting budget and enemy starting budget. So if you wanted to, I could up this a little bit to give me a little bit more of an advantage at the get-go. Sure, we'll do that. And then you can automate, repairing your runway, your frontline ground forces purchases, and aircraft purchases. I'm not going to automate anything. We're going to do that together. And then you click finish. All right, so here we are. We got a map. Now, this was auto-generated, which is really kind of cool. So any of these blue things are my areas, and then the red ones are obviously the enemies. The red circles are anti-air defense radiuses. So, for instance, if we look here at the center of that circle, this red circle that goes around, that's an anti-air site. And if we hover over it, you can see it's, well, actually, I'll just click details and it'll be easier to see. So they got a SA11 or S300 uh, SAM site here and a bunch of units to make up that SAM site. So we have two search radars, a command post, two tracking radars, and a ton of launchers. And then they also have some shilkas, which are basically anti-aircraft tanks that shoot down planes. So this is the intel that we received from our in intel people. This enemy base is a base. The red circles are bases, and my objective is to move this orange line, which is the front line of combat, ground forces combat, all the way up to here. And if I do that and I take over the last base, I win the game, right? And obviously they're getting money every turn and restocking and building up their air forces and armies and whatnot, and trying to push this orange line towards Liwa. Liwa. We'll say Liwa. All right. So we can kind of get an idea of how much money they're going to be making per turn because you get money based on each one of these red or blue areas, and each one is different and generates a certain amount of money and has different units on it. So if we look at some of the blue ones, if I hover over this one gives me $81 million per turn. This one gives me 81. That one gives me 81. That one gives me 81, so on and so forth. And if we hit details here, we can see each turn we're going to get $101 million. Unless, of course, they start bombing these and reducing the amount of money I make. And then same too with them. I can start attacking their units and reduce their income. But theirs is going to be a lot more than mine because they have a lot more units and more bases. So you're going to start at a disadvantage. And we can start seeing with the statistics here. This is turn 0. We haven't even taken a turn yet, so there won't be anything here. But we can see over time how many aircraft I have versus how many aircraft they've had, and armor as well, so ground units. So we can look here and start to get an idea of the intel that they have. This on the base, they have all of these units, and because it's turn 0, we don't know, right? So now it's time to spend our money. Okay, so what do we need? So obviously we need some aircraft, right? It is a flight simulator game, so we're going to buy some aircraft. And what's cool about this is the aircraft that you purchase can be flown by you, other players, or the AI. Now I only have the F-18 package, so I can't fly an A-10 or an F-15 or F-16 or anything like that. So those will be all flown by AI. Disclaimer on that: the AI sucks. They're not very smart, but you're fighting against an AI, so it kind of balances itself out. And I suck too, so I might lose all of this, but we're gonna just give it a shot, right? So let's buy some aircraft, right? Actually, I think we're gonna start with buying ground forces for this line, and we're gonna start trying to push that line up. All right. So I want to spend some money on ground forces because the ultimate objective is to move that line, and then from there, whatever we have left, we'll purchase some aircraft to do combat air patrols, strike missions, SEED dead missions. SEED is suppression of enemy air defenses. Dead is destruction of enemy air defenses. We'll see all that when we do this. But so we're gonna come to our base, and we're gonna say for the ground forces here, what do we want to purchase? So this is kind of neat because you got to try to figure out what all this shit is that you're purchasing. Like, what is an M270 MLRS M270? I have no idea, but it's $55 million, so it's probably really good. But it's probably really good about something. Like, it does some specific task. I don't know. I could research it and try to figure it all out. But I do know what Abrams are, so we're gonna buy like 4 of those. And here's my budget right here, so we can do that. We'll get some strikers. We'll get 4 of those. We'll get 4 Bradleys. Let's get some Humvees because they're cheap. We'll just buy 10 of those because they're 2 million, so 20 million on that. So we're basically trying to purchase our ground units, trying to figure out what they are. You can always Google and figure it out, but I'm just going to kind of buy one of each one of these expensive ones. And that leaves us with 500 million. That's probably good. Oh, and then we can set them up for what frontline operations. Do we want to be defensive and stay still and wait for them to come to us and attack them? And obviously, you'd have a better odds because they're going to come like maybe one or two, excuse me, at a time, and maybe one squad will come and this one will be a little later, versus us doing that and going after them. But I do want to move that line up, and it does look on this particular map, we're all the way down here, and we're not really into the red area yet. So I'm going to try to push. We're going to go aggressive. So we're going to have those guys on the offensive. If we needed to boost up our base defenses, we could do that here by clicking on this tab and purchasing different things, managing different, like you just click manage and then you can buy or replace. Like if you didn't want the Patriot site, which is probably the best anti-air defense in the game, so we're good there. So we're going to leave that. But if we wanted to, let's say we didn't want these Humvees here, we wanted something else. So we can hit buy replace and say, you know, whatever we want to get. So I'm not going to change any of the base defenses at this time, but you can also purchase units for the base itself. All right. And now for the airfield, we're going to now purchase some aircraft. Now, obviously, I fly the Hornet, so we're going to need some of those. We'll get 4 of those. Actually, we'll get 5. 1 for me, and then a squad of 4 for AI to fly. I like the F-16, so we'll get a squad of those, or a flight squadron. Some F-15s. Yeah, we'll get 4 of those. We're down to 326 million. Let's get some A10s for close air support of the front line. We'll just get 2 of those. And then some helicopters, we'll get 2 of those. Oh, they're only 4 million. Maybe we'll get 10 of those. That leaves us with 238. So we can still spend more money. Maybe we'll get 4 of these. We'll get a full squadron of those too. Some 88 AV-88. These are Harriers. Don't know where I would use the Harriers in this. Probably in close air support, but we have the A-10s, and they're a little bit more expensive. No, they're cheaper. They're a lot cheaper than the A-10s, so we'll get 2 of those. And that's really all I need for the first round. I could blow all of this money if I wanted to right now and have a superior air force and army, or I could save it and see where I might need it in the next round. I think that's what I'm going to do. Maybe some more ground forces. Maybe we'll get those. Yeah, and I think I'm going to save 82 million. So I'm just going to do that. So I'll have 183 million at the end of this next turn. So turn 0 is unique because it's just like your initial starting forces. Then you're just going to pass the turn. So there's no flying this because currently we don't have any aircraft to fly. So we're going to hit pass turn. Okay. So now I'm actually going to go through and delete these, but they auto-generate missions for all the aircraft that you have, but we're going to do that ourselves. So I'm just going to go through and delete them, not even going to look at them. All right. So now we have 183 million. This is our first turn. So from here on out, whatever I decide to purchase will be given to me at the beginning of the next turn. So I don't just have them right now, I'll have them at the beginning of the next turn. So I got to kind of anticipate what losses I'm going to have or what I might need in the next turn now, fly the mission, come back to this, and then I'll have more money and try to anticipate the next turn. So there's a lot of planning that goes on here. It's kind of neat. So now that we have 183 million, it's not a ton of money. But I'm not sure how well they're going to do, but now we'll probably have some intel. So let's see. Let's go to details here. Nope. Okay. Oh, and you can cheat, but we're not going to do that either. So let's open the intel on the base. Okay, so here now we know they have 6 aircraft on combat air patrol. So there's going to be 6 aircraft coming up from this base that are going to be fighting me. 2 aircraft that are going to be doing close air support or combat air support, close air support on the front line, and KA-50s, whatever those are. So they got Su-33s and then the MiG-29Ss that are launching from El Dafra. They also, for their ground units, they have 24 ground units split up with all of these different things, and I'm not sure what all of these things are. But we kind of know now they have 8 aircraft and 24 ground units. But what about here? There's another 6 here. So 8, 6, 14 aircraft could be in the sky. Yep, and they're doing cap as well, so 6. However, they're kind of far away. I'm not sure where their cap is going to be at, but I'm probably don't have enough planes to take them all out, right? And then we have one more intel package here, another 6 doing cap on this. So wow, they had a lot more money than we did. Um, ugh. So we're gonna need a lot more aircraft, and they had 24 ground units. How much do we have? 26. Okay, so we got them beat on ground units currently on this turn. So I'm thinking now's the time to beef up our Air Force, assuming we're going to lose some that we got to replace. So for 183, we're not going to be able to buy a lot. Let's get one. Oops. Yeah, one more of those. One more Hornet. One more F-15. One more F-16. Maybe one more A-10. And then let's do another F-16 and F-15. And then a 50, so we can do another one of those. And 31. Yeah, I think we're going to dump the rest in the ground forces. So I'm blowing all my money right now. This is we're going to see how this works. Can we get an Abrams? Yeah, we can. I like the Abrams. Okay, 6 million, and then we'll just there. Okay, so we spent all our money. So now it's time. We're going to save. Save as turn 1. Okay, so turn 1 is saved. Now we're actually ready to plan what we want to do. What do we want all the forces that we have currently? What missions we're going to have? So let's start with the front line and make it simple, right? So we have all of our frontline ground units automatically go to the front line and start attacking because I said aggressive. So we're going to go get some close combat air support here. Close air support, whatever it's called. So we're going to say new package. Nope, not from here. On the front line, we're going to say new package, add a flight, combat air support. We got A-10s. We have 4 of them available. Let's just send 2 out because I don't know what their cap is going to be like and if they're just going to kill all of our A-10s. So we're just going to send 2 out. And they're going to depart from Liwa and arrive back at Liwa. And if we had another base, we can say if you need to, you can divert to another base. But we don't have another base. So create and take off as soon as possible. So they will be in 11 minutes after mission start, almost 12 minutes after mission start, they'll be on site. So let's see what that looks like. So they're going to come from here to here. And they're going to, at 11 minutes and 54 seconds, they'll be ready to support with close air support. And they're going to do that until 41 minutes after mission start. And then they're going to come back to Liwa, provided they don't get shot down. All right, so we got 2 A-10s there. That's cool. Oops. Now we'll add those helicopters that we purchased. Add flight, close air support, and we probably could have done it in the same one, but we have 10 available. Let's send half out. Oh, we only could do 4. Okay, that makes sense. So a whole squadron. We're going to hit create as soon as possible. Now they won't get there until 24 minutes after. So we'll save that. We might make them come up on at the same time and have the ground forces fight for 24 minutes. but we'll see. So now we're going to do some combat air patrol, specifically barrier cap or bar cap. So they're going to do a combat air patrol in the direction that they think the enemy's coming from. That's all the bar cap means. So let's start a bar cap from up here. Add mission, bar cap. We'll get the, let's do the F-15s up here. We have 4 of them available. We'll send all 4 up. So, yep, ASAP. So 11 minutes, they'll be up at point number 1, and they'll racetrack between 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, until 41 minutes after the mission start, and then they'll come back to Liwa. So, but they're going to be bar capping in this direction. So start here and there at the left side, right side, left side, right side, left side, right side. So they're going to be looking here. Now we do know from El Dafra, the intel we received, there's going to be 6 aircraft doing combat air patrol, and we only sent up 4. So we definitely are going to need another one. So let's come down here, add the F-16s this time. There's 4 available. We'll send all 4 up. Create ASAP. They'll get there a little before, and then they're going to bar cap this way. So from here to here, and then back and forward until 40 minutes after the mission start, and then they'll come back and land. So now we got 8 aircraft against the 6 from El Dafra, but we also have another 6 here, and I thought there were some over here, but they might just bar cap up here. So we have 4 more F-18s that we can bar cap with, or we can do some strike mission. Maybe I'll do the strike. All right, new package. Add flight, bar cap with the F-18s. There's 5 available. We're going to have all 4 take off. So they'll be there 8 minutes after. Save. So they'll be the first ones up, and they're going to bar cap from here to here. So we kind of have, all flanks, like middle, left flank, right flank kind of bar capping going on here. I think that'll work. So that's it for that. Now the bar cap's going to be up in 8, 10, and 11 minutes, and then the A-10s will be there at 11 minutes. I kind of want to delay the A-10s getting there to make sure the bar cap can actually clear the skies for the A-10s. So we're going to delay that and have them arrive maybe at 20 minutes, a little before the helicopters get there. So we're just going to change that to 20 minutes and hit done. So hopefully you can already see how cool this is. I haven't even started playing DCS yet, but it's really kind of neat. Oh, and then my mission, what am I going to do? So I do want to do a strike mission. I'm thinking, because of all these red circles being anti-air defense barriers, like if we cross the red circle, we're in firing space from some anti-aircraft missile or gun. So I don't like that. This red circle is from this guy here. That's pretty deep in there. I could probably, fly from here to here and then take it out. And that would really help by frontline support. Like these guys bar capping are going into the red circle. But that seems pretty deep into enemy territory. Plus, we know there's cap from here and here coming and defending this. I'm not sure if we're ready for that. I think we're going to start taking out some of these red things and maybe reduce their money. So this one here might be a good one. So this generates $87 million per turn, and there's a bunch of tanks there. Okay. And then this one generates 87, and there's a bunch of buildings. So there's 3 buildings. So if I take out these 3 buildings, they lose $87 million per turn, which might be beneficial. I think I'm going to do this. Yeah, let me do that, because then I don't have to worry about tanks firing back. It's just some buildings. Let me just double check. Yeah, just some buildings. All right, so we're going to new package, add a flight. We're going to strike it with my Hornet. Client slot's 1, so that's going to be the one I fly in. And we'll hit create as soon as possible. Oh, it's not. I'm not even going to be bombing until 40 minutes in, and that's about when my bar cap is heading back in. So we're going to have to do this quick, and that's as soon as I can get there. That sucks. So here's my flight plan. For me, I'm going to take off from Liwa, come all the way down to waypoint 1, and hold position until 30 minutes after, or 27 minutes after. At 27 minutes after, I'm going to start heading towards waypoint 2 and hopefully get there around 29 minutes and 51 seconds. I'm probably not going to be on time for any of this because I suck, but whatever. And then at 32 minutes, I'm going to start my ingress to this location. So I'm assuming they're doing this to give Barcap time to clear the skies for me to come in and do my bombing mission. But you know what we can do is choose our loadout instead of just doing the standard one that they choose. The program chooses. We'll create our own. Let's do that. So I can defend against myself if I need to. So we'll get some 9X Sidewinders, some IR heat-seeking missiles on the outer pylons. Center pylon, we'll get fuel. On the cheeks, we'll get AIM 120s, which are Fox 3 missiles. They have their own radar. So after like maybe 10 seconds, depending on how far away you are when you shoot and blah, 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 their radar will go pitbull, meaning active, and it will use its own radar to track the enemy instead of your ship's radar. So you can fire when it goes pitbull, you can turn away from the threat, and the missile's on its way and it's tracking using its radar, which is kind of cool. And then we need some bombs, obviously, to blow up 3 buildings. Let's do. I'm not very good, so I think we're going to do some GPS guided bombs. So those are GBU. Those are laser guided 31s. Okay, there's 4 variations. I think V3s are the tank busters, which might be good against buildings. I think those are it. So we're going to do the V3s. So we're going to load up on those. Now, it's been a while since I've played and practiced with GPS, so I might fail this mission completely, but it'll be fun to try. All right, so we click that and we hit done. And then we're going to save turn 1. Actually, we'll do a save as missions, liberation, turn 1. And we'll say pre-op. Yeah, save. All right, so we are ready to rock and roll. I think I'm going to end this video and create another video so they're not stupid long, and you can watch them in pieces. So that's our mission. Just to kind of review, we got 3 bar caps going up. We have close air support and a bunch of ground units fighting the line. And I'm going to try to bomb this and stop them from getting almost $90 million per turn. That's our mission. So with that, I'll switch to the game and start another video that you can watch at another time or right now, whatever you want to do.